Welcome to Stott Park Bobbin Mill, an English heritage site that is well worth a visit. Located at the southern tip of Lake Windermere, 1 mile northwest of Lakeside. The mill was built in 1835 as a commercial venture by local farmer and landowner John Harrison. It is believed to be one of only a few mills to have been purpose-built for bobbin production, most other mills having been converted from earlier structures such as old farm buildings or redundant industrial sites. It traded as a commercial mill, manufacturing millions upon millions of wooden bobbins to supply the booming textile industry in the north of England and, latter day, consumer products such as cotton reels and a variety of other turned wooden products such as croquet mallet heads, right up until 1971 when it eventually ceased trading. At the time of closing, only 6 men remained working at the mill. They simply closed the doors behind them and walked away, leaving all the original machinery still in place, which is a good thing as it now offers us an opportunity to briefly step back in time and experience, to a certain extent, the working conditions and environment of those mill workers back in the mid-1800s. Access to the inner workings of the mill is by way of guided tours, held hourly, during which a brief history of the mill and its workforce is presented by knowledgeable members of staff. The tours include live demonstrations of various stages of the bobbin manufacturing process using the original machinery.
Is our wheel pit. That's where the original water wheel stood, and then they put a water turbine in there later on. Both the wheel and the turbine drove that line shafting at the top there, and all the machinery was driven off the line shaft by leather belts. You can see one on the circular saw, and we'll see those working a bit further through. Now, as mentioned outside, when we first opened in the 1830s, we were making the big bobbins that went off to the textile and cotton mills to actually spin and weave the thread, so your industrial bobbins, and that's what this is here. This is what we call a 3-piece bobbin. The central cylinder and the 2 ends are separate pieces, and they'll be glued together at the end of the process. Now, the reason you make smaller bobbins from bigger pieces of wood is because of the process called blocking. So what they do is bring each log in, they would chop it into lots of thin slices like that, and each one of those is called a cake. You're a bit disappointed if you got that for your birthday, but that's what it's called. From that cake you could then block out lots of little cylinders of wood, like these little blunt bobbin shapes, and that's what this machine here is for. This is what we call a double blocker minute, so very fast. The worker would sit here, he put his cake in there, brings that saw down, cuts in, and the bobbin drops out the bottom. You keep going around, putting as many bobbins out of each piece as you go, trying to be as efficient as possible. As the steam comes into there, it pushes the piston arm, the piston drives this flywheel, and then you've got a canvas belt on there, which will be driving the line shaft we saw next door. Now, as I said, this is a small steam engine really. The ones in the cotton and textile mills were much bigger than this. But this flywheel is still about 2 tons of solid cast iron, and that'll be spinning around once a second when this mill was operating. So it's a big heavy piece of metal spinning at high speed. There's always a dangerous direction. And the faster they go, the more the weights start to move outwards by centrifugal force. Now, as they move out, they lift this little metal arm here. That twists that long metal rod, and at the end of the rod there's a valve that's just on top of the box with the nameplate on there. Now that valve gets pressed down as these weights move outwards, and that shuts off the steam that goes into that cylinder. So basically, the faster the machine goes, the more it takes away its own source of power, and that means it has to slow back down again. So, very clever really, quite simple, really ingenious.
Like this. We're really just removing all the excess wood at this stage, so the shape and size doesn't need to be too precise, and that makes this a very quick process. Taking those pieces of wood off and replacing them. Take those off, replace them, and And it could be your job for 12 hours a day just to do that all day long.
Watch your fingers while you're doing that. Just turn